What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a different kind of video for you today. This is my hardtail. I don't really talk too much about because I don't really ride very much. This is a GT Aggressor. This is the bike I started mountain biking on. And although this is a very nice bike, I always end up picking the full suspension for obvious reasons every time I go ride. And I wanted to change that. So we're going to work on a couple of upgrades to kind of get this bike a little bit beefier, a little bit more up to speed with what I'm riding, so that I want to choose it more. I don't want to get rid of this bike. So this is going to be a 1, 2-part, 3-part, who knows how much I do to it, but we're just going to make this a little bit of a series where I upgrade this GT. I'm going to do a little bit of work to this GT. I've learned a lot since I first got this bike. There's some style changes that I wouldn't make again that I made on this bike, so we're going to switch some stuff up. We're going to take this kind of box budget hardtail and we're going to try and make it into something a little bit beefier, a little bit better for the trails. Now, before we make any changes to the bike, I just want to kind of give you a quick overview of what we're looking at. Honestly, very short travel fork, I think 65 millimeters, just a SR Sun Tour. Just pretty basic, but it does the job, and it definitely was good enough for when I was first learning. There is some nice brakes. Just some Tektro disc brakes, front and rear. I have put a mud guard on it, some grips that aren't all that great, so I'll probably switch that up. But for a budget hardtail, I mean, it's good components, 4-bolt stem. It's well made. It's got a 3x drivetrain that works quite well. 27.5 tires, I think they're 2.1 wide. Got some pedals on here from Amazon that I wouldn't buy again. Again, this is just when I first started mountain biking. Just kind of picked some random stuff out, but got me to where I am today. Seat, a little bit worse for wear. You can thank my cat for all of that. I have a wrap kit on here that actually looks pretty cool. There's just some parts right here that I kind of need to get rid of. Didn't really know what I was doing when I first started, but it's applied smooth, nice and well. Just going to kind of get rid of that extension. Maybe fix up some of this part on the rear triangle. The first upgrade that we're going to start with is some tires. Now I wanted to do these upgrades to this bike pretty budget friendly. Any bulk amount of money that I put into a bike, it's going to be my full suspension Marin. I'm not going to dump a whole bunch of money into this because, like I said, 9 times out of 10 I'm still going to pick the full suspension, but every once in a while I want to be able to choose this hardtail just because it's where I started from, but I don't want to dump a whole bunch of money into it. I'm going to start with these WTB Wilderness Trail Bikes tires that I got off Facebook Marketplace. Super good steal. I got the pair of them for 25 bucks. Very, very lightly used. The tread is really, really good. 27.5, 2.4. So I kind of did some measurements ahead of time. I'm pretty sure this will fit. That alone is going to make a huge difference on the trails. So that's going to be the first upgrade we're going to do. All right, as you can probably tell, it is a different day, different location. I'm outside. It was late at night when I filmed that first part. So now we're outside where we got some space. We're going to swap these out real quick. And cross your fingers, hope that the 2.4s fit, because if they do, it'll look very, very sweet. So let's get started. You guys use the Cush Core or whatever that's called, those inserts on your tires, even with tubeless, let me know. I guess a lot more people than I think use it, especially like at the downhill parks and stuff. They've got those foam inserts. I've never tried any yet, but I think I just need some nicer tires with like a downhill casing on the sidewall, because that's where I get every puncture. So I think next set of tires I might try that, even if it adds a little bit of weight. I'm not really worried about that added weight. I'd rather not have sidewall punctures. All right, got this first one done. We're gonna mount it on. I think it'll fit. And then I'll just repeat that process for the back. We'll get a finished look at it. Woo! She fits. Let's flip it over. Take a look. Oh my gosh. I don't know how well you're gonna see that on camera, but it looks like a different bike in the front wheel. Man. That is gonna make such a difference. Still some clearance too. I can get into some mud. I thought that was gonna be closer than it is. That makes a difference. All right. We'll repeat the process for the back. I'll save you guys the effort of that. All right, after some difficulty with the rear, the rim tape. I don't know what it is. I can't. Rim tape is so hard to get set. But finally got it. Got the logos matched up. Already, I mean, it looks sick. It's a nice tire. I'm excited to give it a shot. In a future video here shortly. I got a nice chunky, quick little 3-mile-ish loop trail I'm going to take it on. That I've done plenty of times in the full suspension. But it's just a good example of a way to test this bike and see how it feels now. But that is the first thing we're going to do to it. I got a couple more things in mind. The pedals for sure, the grips. Eventually later down the line I'd like to turn it into maybe like a 1x9, just because the front derailleur on this thing isn't that great. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Alright, we're just going to make this one big long video upgrading this hardtail. So super easy, super simple. Might not be that exciting, but the next thing I'm going to do, if you saw a recent short I made, I got some new pedals for my full suspension, and I have some decent composite flats right here. The pins are all fine, just a lot of pedal scrapes, not the cleanest look, but it's definitely going to be a more comfortable feel than what's already on the bike. So for my next free upgrade, I'm just going to swap out these pedals for these Amazon ones that aren't that comfortable. Although it's not a crazy upgrade, it definitely is going to make me feel more comfortable and definitely make me better on this bike. So we're going to throw these on real quick. Alright, just like that, we're all done. Again, these are still a little bit beat up, but I've ridden them for over a year, so I'm very comfortable with them. All the pins are still great. I can still replace those if needed. Definitely matches the bike a lot better. Kind of matches everything a lot better, and it's going to feel better. So that's a quick little free upgrade. I think I'm going to do the same thing with the grips. I have some grips on my full suspension that are relatively new, but I did scratch them up on a crash that I had. So I might throw those onto here. They're just black grips. And then I might go for some DD grips on my full suspension, just because that's kind of the way I'm going with all my gear lately. Alright, if you saw one of my recent shorts, I did go ahead and buy some new DD grips for my full suspension. So if you haven't watched that yet, check that out. I had these AMS grips that are quite nice. Has the Red Bull Rampage logo on there. It's a bit scratched up. Took those off. My full suspension, they're scratched up from getting in a crash, but still very, very nice tacky grips. So I threw those on there to give a nice upgrade to the GT. Alright, but that's going to be it for this video. Next I'm going to do is maybe try and turn this into a 1x, kind of clean up the front of the drivetrain there. We might go through and do a couple other things, nothing major. I wish I could give you a trail test on this bike right now, but our trail systems are snowed out, iced out, and if it does get warm enough, it's completely muddy. So the best I can do is ride this down the river trail for now. But look for another future video here soon where I actually give this a nice trail try. I mean, the tires are new. That's going to be a huge help. And it's going to feel a lot more comfortable. I mean, I have the pedals on here that I used for the last year. The grips I used on here all summer. So it's going to feel a lot more comfortable and familiar to me. And then as well as the contact point with those tires on the ground, it's going to be a huge difference there. So hope y'all enjoyed. If you have any suggestions on what I should do next to this bike or any questions about this bike, let me know. Thanks for watching.